Hi everyone, welcome to ChinesePod. This is Fiona.
And this is guǒrán.
And today we're going to use one adulterer, one mistress to get your heads around 当然, suīrán, jìngrán, guǒrán, bùrán. All adverbs that end with a character
然.
So in the similar logic to last week's lesson with all the different 可, adjective variations, we're going to look at all the adverbs that end in 然 because they follow a similar logic. So let's begin. So first things first, let's look at how we should think about 然 in today's lesson. In Mandarin, I would say 什么什么的样子，一个行为或一个动作的样子。
So how a situation looks to the observer.
Yeah, like a way something is. So don't worry about it. Let's start looking at today's examples.
Number 1.
当然. 当然. Now this is probably the easiest to understand out of all of today's vocabulary because literally translated it means
Of course.
But let's use that 然 principle. 应该是这样子. It should be this way. So if something should be this way, of course it's this way. 我那么帅，又有钱，当然有小三啊。
I'm so handsome. I have so much money. Of course I've got a mistress.
当然有小三. Now let's look at the next example.
Number 2.
果然.
果然.
Now this tricky little adverb is often either not translated or there's like 6 translations, right? Can you give some common ones?
So like, as it turns out.
Yeah, the result of. But when you're actually saying a very informal sentence, it's odd to translate it as the result of the previous action, led to this. 所以其实果然的那个果就是结果的果。所以果然呢，你们可以想成结果就是这个样子。So when you use 果然 is when you find out something, right? You suddenly find a truth or a fact that you didn't know about before and you're kind of like, I knew it. That's when you would use 果然.
So can you give us an example?
Sure. 你果然有小三。你果然有小三. Here, I would probably translate it as I knew you had a mistress. See, in English, we place it on the verb. We place the emphasis when we're speaking. But in Mandarin, we add 果然 to indicate that, like, as it turns out you have a mistress. But that would be an odd translation to say, it turns out you have a mistress. You'd be like, I knew it. I knew you had a mistress. 你果然有小三.
Number 3.
虽然. 虽然. Now this is loosely translated as
although.
That's right. So if you want to kind of break it down, you can think about it as while something is a certain way, right? 这件事情事实就是这个样子。可是 there's always a but with 虽然. So maybe I can say 我虽然有小三，可是我还是很爱我的太太呢。
Although I've got a mistress, I still love my wife.
我虽然有小三，我还是很爱我的太太。
Number 4.
竟然。
竟然
is used to express surprise. So when you translate it, you often find it as like to one's surprise, unexpectedly. There'll be loads of different translations depending on the context. And that's why it's very useful to kind of get that Mandarin frame of mind. 竟就是当你没有想到一件事情会是这个样子的时候呢，你就可以说竟然。
Okay, give us a mistress-based example.
你竟然有小三。
I can't believe you have a mistress.
你竟然有小三。
I can't believe you got a mistress.
Right, so let's look at the difference between 你果然有小三 and 你竟然有小三. What's the difference?
The first one, I knew it all along. You've
knew
been
it.
acting all
strange.
suspiciously.
Yeah, 你果然有小三.
The second one, jìngrán, is
oh my gosh, I can't believe.
unexpectedly.
Yeah. 你竟然有小三.
So it doesn't translate in the sentence, but it gives you the feeling of how that person felt when they found out the information.
Exactly.
Now the last one, number 5.
不然.
不然.
Now, 然就是这个样子的意思嘛。那不然不就是不是这个样子，很简单嘛。
So not in this way, we'll have to do another way.
Exactly. So otherwise, right? So not in this way, let's do it another way. Otherwise.
Okay, example.
Sorry, okay. 我的小三很忙，不然我回去找我的太太好了。
My mistress is busy, so I think I'm just going to go back see my wife.
So here is another example where the 然s, right, the 然 adverbs is not translated. It's kind of implied in the language, and that's why it's so important to kind of grasp the logic of how these characters are put together, what they actually imply. And once you understand that, A, you'll be able to use it in the right context, and B, you'll be able to properly understand when people are saying 你竟然有小三 and 你果然有小三.
So the reason we used a deliberately over-the-top example is just so that it helps stick in your mind, because we're learning quite similar characters, and by thinking of a dramatic scene involving a mistress, it might help you remember.
This is definitely Guillem's favorite memory technique. Outrageous situations help you remember the Mandarin vocab. We hope you enjoyed today's lesson, and we'll see you again next time. 再见.
再见.
Hey, you stuck around. Well, since you have, let me give you a little quiz. What do you think 漠然means? Can you explain it in the context of today's lesson? I'll see you again next time. 再见. 当然果然虽然竟然不然 OK 当然果然虽然竟然不然 OK 你竟然有小三